Good morning and welcome to Unity Bay Area, Houston. All of you that are here with us in person and those that are joining us online now and in the future. We are so grateful for each and every one of you and the energy you bring together to lift up our world and the light and into the truth of our being, and we are so grateful. And so what I'd like to do is, first of all, just share with you that I was at Unity Village, the motherland of Unity this week. And it was awesome. Of course, I brought you this cooler weather. Did you like it? Yeah. We had beautiful, cool fall weather and lots of changing leaves. And what was most monumental in our time there was that there was an annual meeting and a vote that unified Unity. Now, we've always thought we're just Unity, but we've had two organizations. We've had Unity World Headquarters and Unity Worldwide Ministries, which was an association of the ministers and ministries, and then we had the headquarters. And what we voted on was to come together in an acquisition. After 66 years of being two organizations within Unity, we are now Unity. And it is really exciting and monumental, and I feel very honored to be on the team, the board, that has brought that about. And so really glad that I got to be there for that monumental decision. We had a 91% yes vote to come back together, and there were a lot of cheers going on throughout the organization. And they're going to be opening up new things like on the line, there will be a portal that will open up later in 2026 that will allow congregants, as well as boards, as well as ministers, as well as licensed teachers, everyone to be able to go in and join in on affinity groups of other unities across the world. And so it's a wonderful gift that we're going to be seeing even more visibility for Unity. So really great. We're grateful for that. So anyway, I'm excited about that, and welcome everybody. So we know that Unity is a positive, progressive, practical approach to Christianity based upon the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. And we honor every tradition and how it has threads of truth, and it moves in the ways that are supporting each of their particular traditions and bringing truth into the world. And we honor that you have chosen to be here at Unity with us today. So give yourself a pat on the back, first of all. All right. And then we're going to begin with our opening affirmation. I am blessed to be part of the glory of God. Yes, together again, that's just so powerful. I am blessed to be part of the glory of God. And la gracia divina fluye hacia mí a través de mí. La gracia divina fluye hacia mí y a través de mí. All right. There we go in both. We are loving that we're able to offer it in two languages here, that beautiful blessing. And so now we're going to rise and join Art Bristow today for our wonderful Swing Wide the Doors.
Please rise. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for, and what this life is about. What's it about? It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smile. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. Lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I've learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deep It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. Lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Yes.
Welcome. My name is Bruce Landry, and I'm glad you joined us today. Let us begin our service together as we affirm our statement of truth. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in me, God the good omnipotence. Prayer is the core practice that Unity teaches, our constant connection to divinity. Our prayer chaplains pray for your request for 30 days and are sent to Silent Unity to be prayed for at the same time. And that's double prayer power. Prayer request forms are in the foyer. Today's prayer chaplains are Don Davis and Katie Phillips. Has Katie arrived yet? Well, she'll be here shortly. You can meet Dawn at the prayer room for one-on-one prayer. Katie Phillips will lead us in a group prayer before our meditation. For our digital viewers, whether you seek peace or have gratitude to express, please click the Request Prayer button in your bulletin, or you may leave a prayer through Facebook Messenger. Now, Reverend Kyra has a message.
Prayer today? What a concept. Let's open. My favorite thing to do is let's really open and set the energy of prayer here in this sanctuary. Let's open our hearts, our mind, our being to be at one with Spirit right here and now. We say yes, thank you, God. Thank you, infinite source. Thank you to the divine presence that is alive and well within each one of us. And as we open to feel and know the truth that we are a light in this world, we are one with this infinite source, and we allow it to flow through us. We begin to feel alive and new animation and vitality in our body temples, to remember the truth that we are whole and healed, and we walk upon this earth with ease and grace. And as we call in this divine light, this Christ consciousness of our being, we feel that powerful energy moving through and unifying and harmonizing us through an infinite love, a divine love. And we say thank you. Thank you, Divine Spirit, for being that infinite love, that resource of good, of light, of awareness within each one of us, that we may bring the light of awareness into every area of our lives and every thought of our mind and every feeling of our being, and all of our energetic and magnetic system is truly alive with the light of truth and peace and love and harmony. And as we open to God's presence right here and right now by any name or knowing, we feel that power emanating through us and as us. And we go forth and bring this light into the world. And we say thank you for blessing our children and our teens and our teachers in the back. And thank you for blessing each one of us, our loved ones, and all those that are calling for support and experiencing whatever kind of separation or experience that they're having at this time from their true self. We invite this unified harmonic to move through, to bless, to nurture, to heal, and to bring us all into the light of oneness. And so it is. Amen. And yes.
Let's see, where was I? Okay. Your Sunday e-bulletin sent this morning contains this week's announcements and all participation links. Please visit the connection table in the back of our sanctuary to sign up for our many events. Hello? That better? Our announcements. Our Divine Audacity silent auction begins today after the service. We celebrate forward to these amazing creations blessing your home. Our art reception is Wednesday, November 19th from 6:30 to 8:30. Please bring your friends and enjoy this special evening. The author of Divine Audacity, Linda Martella Whitsitt, will be our guest speaker on Sunday, November 16th. Her talk is titled, Dare to be the Light of the World. At 12:30, she will offer a workshop. Discover your power, claim your wholeness, and heal your life. Learn to powerfully distinguish between I feel and I am. Heal at the level of thought and pivot between intellectual and intuitive wisdom. Suggested exchange is $44. No one will be turned away. RSVPs are greatly appreciated. The Amigas Unidas will meet on Tuesday, November 18th at 5 p.m. for Comida Compartida y Conversación Spiritual. That's potluck and spiritual conversations. Our annual Thanksgiving potluck feast is in 2 weeks. Please sign up to let us know what you will be bringing. It's the meal with your spiritual family that will carry you through the holidays. And now, please join me for our vision, mission, values, and affirmation. Our world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of the shared spiritual awakening. Mission is to inspire minds, awaken hearts, and empower lives through the teachings of Jesus Christ and other expressions of universal truth. In all that we are and all that we live, we value unconditional love, connection, authenticity, inclusivity, trust, and compassion. We are living, relevant, spiritual now.
Yes, we are. And please rise. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me know that love is all around. 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 Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here and sharing your unique energy and personality with us today. Now here's a test question. By a show of hands, who has traveled this year? See, that was easy. Now, if you're here for the very first time, please raise your hand so we may welcome you. Together, let's share our welcoming blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. To our new guests, you may have received a brochure and a sticker from a greeter this morning. If you did not, raise your hand, and an usher will bring them to you. After you fill out the card, you can visit our welcome table and choose a welcome gift after the service. Our first-time online viewers may contact us through Messenger or our Facebook page to choose a special gift. We'd love to connect you to our unique gifts and show you what we mean when we say, we are living relevant spirituality now. Now let's center inward for a reading of today's daily word. Today's daily word is glory. The affirmation, I am blessed to be a part of the glory of God. I am a spiritual being, a glorious expression of God. As I live more fully into my divine nature, I better recognize my unity with life. Looking around me, I see the beautiful diversity of humanity. I also appreciate the vast variety of creatures on earth. Whether of earth, sky, or water, all creatures are glorious components of the universe. I give thanks for each one. I turn my attention inward. The glory of God within me is an inner kingdom where beautiful and loving thoughts live, kindness, warm memories, inspired motivation, and peace. As I bring my attention to the realm of my consciousness, I create within me a world of majesty, splendor, and wonder that I also find in the world around me. As I do, I discover the glory of God everywhere. And from Psalms chapter 19, verse 1, the heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims his handiwork.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Good morning. I'm Dawn Davis. I'm actually the group chaplain today, and Katie will be here later for the in-room prayers. I'm also available for that if necessary. I'm always available, actually, when I'm here. So, this is our time for group prayer, when we take time to pray for others. So we just settle in and feel this beautiful space centered in this place of love. At this time, we'll place all those names and situations that are in our unity prayer box. And those people, animals, situations, whatever's been on your heart and mind, we'll place up high in the light of love and the light of well-being. So we center in and we take a breath together. And we'll go into the silence for a few moments. And if it feels right, you can whisper out the names or just hold them in your heart. And we affirm right here, right now, God is good. All our prayers are answered. God knows what's on your heart. And we say, so it is.
Thank you, John. And I invite you, while you're in this beautiful prayer presence, to take a moment to move even deeper into this time of meditation, where we close our outer eyes, if you haven't already, and open your inner eye, your inner awareness, to the flow of the cosmic energies, this one heartbeat of the divine that beats in each of our beings. And we feel unified in this field of consciousness, in this awareness of God's presence right here and now. And as we open to this time of meditation, we take those concerns and we lift them up and see them fly like butterflies into the ethers, where they are unified with the truth of what it is that is meant to occur in divine order and grace, in the fulfillment of the highest good for one and all. And as we feel this truth, we are setting ourselves free. We feel the power of this life energy renew and revitalize us here and now. This infinite energy that is always sourcing us to be more of that one conscious awareness of the divine, of the light of all. And so as we allow ourselves to be animated, to be lifted, to be realized as who and what we are as a divine and infinite source, expressing here and now in this finite realm, that we know the truth, that we live in this human world, but we are more than this. We are a divine being, a spiritual presence. And as we say yes, we begin to relax into the realization that this infinite movement of spirit is active in us right now, bringing forth order and harmony and peace into our soul, into our lives, into our body temple, into every thought and feeling. And we unify with this world, this beautiful, magnificent world we live in, that every creature of the land and the waters and the skies are part of this beautiful expression of life in such unique and marvelous ways, bringing even more divine light into our world. We open ourselves to the realization that Mother Earth is one with us right now. We feel every plant and every animal and every mineral are unified in this field of oneness and this awareness of God's presence, living out its creative essence through each of us. And we move into this time of silence to feel and know the true order of the universe, to feel our oneness with all of life, and to feel the power of this divine energy moving through us here and now, lifting us into the remembrance of the light of our being in the silence. from this sacred flow of universal consciousness, we remember and arise in our own Christ consciousness, our own awareness, and say thank you. Thank you for lighting me up from the inside out, for allowing me to be a presence for this world, to bring this beingness to where it can serve in the highest level. And we are grateful, grateful, grateful. And we bring that awareness back here and now into this space, where we continue with the sacred flow as we share the words of the Lord's Prayer from an Aramaic translation, the language of Jesus. To feel the power of this language, though it's not spoken here in Aramaic, you can feel the power of these words and these meaning as we speak these words together. Beloved oneness, breathing life of all, holy is our essence. Create your reign of unity now. Your one desire acts with ours and vibrates light to form. Fulfill this day all need for bread and insight. Forgiveness releases us, and we remember wholeness. We are free from inner and outer deception and walk your path with joy. You are the power of these truths, and unite my words, thoughts, feelings, and actions through this prayer. In gratitude, my heart knows it is so. Amen. And yes.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feel like I'm walking on marbles. Can't still the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling? I can feel my heart begin to pound. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. I know I'm not the only one, the beside these blues. Oh Lord, I surrender my life to you. Oh Lord, I give my life to you. Love keeps calling me a little bit deeper than you ever been before. Compassion's calling me a little bit deeper than you ever been before. My faith keeps calling me a little bit deeper than I ever been before. Peace keeps calling me. God is calling me, and I'm grateful like I've never been before.
Art, that was phenomenal. Thank you. Very powerful. I think we all know this experience of being called to go even deeper in ourselves, in our awareness, in the way that we're living. And that really relates to this book that we're studying right now by Linda Martella Whitsitt called Divine Audacity. You know, the divine audacity to dare to be the light of the world. You know, Jesus told us, you are the light of the world. And yet we hold back and are afraid to allow that truth to really animate and bring life to all that we are. As we've been studying this material, we have there's a great quote that many of you have heard that have been in this series. This is the fifth in our series, and we have 2 more weeks in this series. And if you haven't gotten the book, I highly recommend this material. It will really deepen your spiritual awareness, your ability to take these powers or the lights that we're working with and activate them in ways that you become awakened to your true essence, to your true destiny as a divine being having this human experience. So divine audacity is fearless overcoming of only human tendencies in order to do or say the right thing, that which unifies, harmonizes, strengthens, or uplifts. With divine audacity, you dare to be the light of the world. And that is, to me, the premise of this book and what we're up to, is how do we live with that kind of fearlessness that moves through us and brings us through the different processes and journeys along the way of life that actually awaken those parts of us that haven't known they needed to be awakened. Anybody have some of those? Or maybe you don't know. You know? We don't know that we need this part of us awakened, right? And yet what we're doing in this journey is we are really looking at these different qualities. Each week we're studying 3 of the powers or the lights. In Unity we teach it as the 12 powers. And we are in the last of these 3 of the 12 powers. And these represent being in the sacred flow, and being in the alignment to the divine. And when we are in alignment, then we begin to have a different kind of experience of how life is flowing through us, how the divine is working in our world. Today we're working with order, release, and life. Now, these reveal Spirit's rhythm of alignment. They give us the clearing and the renewal that we need to live according to a higher calling. Order arranges us in divine right sequence, right? Like the stars in the sky are in divine right sequence. You know, release clears away what no longer serves us. And then life fills us with vibrant presence. And so when we begin to operate with these, we're going to find that, you know, we actually operate with greater trust. We allow the wisdom of the universe to move through us. We experience how we can create order in our own lives or follow the order of the universe in ways that help uplift and support our everyday life, as well as our spiritual life. So divine order, first of all, is the spiritual law of harmony and balance and timing that underlies all creation. All of creation is operating according to a divine order. We don't know how to create that life, but that life is created, right? It is created at a greater level than what we understand. So when we begin to understand that, we recognize the ways we've been taught that along the way. I love this image because what we know is whether it's fractals or whether there's divine order in all of the universe when we open to it, when we become aware of the sacred geometry that is alive inside of us and inside of the world. We begin to see it in every plant, in every animal, in every bit of creation. You know, I love that 1 Corinthians said in 14:40, but all things should be done decently and in order. So order is not about rigidity or control. You know, a lot of us, we've dealt with that kind of order in our life. Have you tried to get your life in order and you're demanding it of yourself along the way? How's that work for you? Not very well. Because we have a tendency to rebel and resist when we feel it's a rigid control. And so it's really important that we understand the idea of order as a divine principle that is moving through all of creation. And our job is aligning with that which is orderly in the universe, that which is orderly by divine design. And so when we do that, we recognize it as a sacred rhythm. It's of the cosmos, and we are mirroring the rhythm of the cosmos. And when we do that, when we attune to that, then things tend to flow for us. We tend to live. Have you had those moments where your life feels like it's flowing and things seem to be working out for you easily? I know you've all had those. How would you like to live from that all the time? Yeah. I mean, this is what divine order is offering us, is that I align myself to the sacred rhythms of the universe, to the divine design that is alive in me and all of creation. And when I let go and think I know better, I know none of you do that. I think I know better how it's supposed to be, right? When we resist life, when we resist what is, then all of a sudden we think we're in the driver's seat. Now, ultimately, we're not, right? And what we find is that resistance creates tension inside of us. We shut down aspects of ourselves and are no longer in the flow and the rhythm that is naturally happening because that's the nature of the universe. So when we let go and allow ourselves to be in divine order, and to recognize, there's a sequence to things, there's a timing to things. There are things that cannot happen before their time. And we want to push the river sometimes, right? And yet we have to stop and say, it's not working for me. In fact, it's quite frustrating. And it just doesn't work, right? And so when we can let go and allow that and allow things to flow in the right time and the right way. I'm going to give an example of this from my own journey. You know, I've been a minister now, 28 years plus, and in that journey, I've been asked over and over again to be on the Unity Worldwide Ministries board, and I always said no. And I was like, no, I don't want to get into something. It could be political. I don't want that. And I didn't feel called. Well, this last time when I was asked to be on it, Spirit was undeniable. This is a yes. You need to say yes. And I'm like in total resistance. No, I don't want to be on that. That's a lot, more than I need to be handling. And And it was like, you need to be on this board now. So the answer is yes. And I'm like, I have a life committed to following where Spirit guides me, right? And so in the process of that, I had to say yes. Then I was asked to be on the executive committee and be a secretary on the board, and I'm like, no, I never do secretary. This is not my gift, right? And again, Spirit said, no, you're to be on the executive committee. It's not about secretary. And I'm like, what? And it's like, yes, they need your consciousness there. I'm like, okay. So finally, I said yes, because again, I have to surrender my idea of what order is. And then all kinds of things, I'll say all hell broke loose. We had all kinds of things that happened, and we went through a thing of letting the CEO go of the organization. We had all kinds of stuff that occurred. Now, and certainly it's like, what? Why am I here for this, right? Then that was what had to happen for us to come to the place of being able to unify the two organizations. Now, this doesn't sound like a big deal because most people don't even know there were two organizations, right? It's just unity. And you've got the village and the campus and all of that, and then the association. They're all doing what they do. But what happened in the process of that was my realization it could not have happened before now. We've worked at this 66 years. My previous husband, when I was married to in Arizona, was on a team working at unifying unity. And then it would fall apart because egos would get involved. I know we hate to think that that's true in unity, right? And yet we're all people here, and no matter our capacity. And so we would work at it. And so this was the time for this to come together. And what we all realized, this was the time. This was the right and orderly sequence of events. This is about divine order, for this is the time for us to break free of things that no longer serve us and live according to something higher. That is what we're teaching. We're teaching this unity consciousness. And it's not saying those organizations were both doing fabulous things that were their particular mission. But to unify us unifies our resources, allows us in so many ways to grow and expand as one unity. And to bring that forth into the world is a time that's right and ripe right now in the world. And it's a beautiful thing to know we're part of a much bigger movement here, not just this one unity church. We are part of a movement that's worldwide, that is bringing a consciousness and lifting up the world into recognizing the truth of their own light. So that's an example of order. And in order, there are three attributes. So the first one is organization. Now, organization really represents organizing our thoughts, right? Arranging our thoughts, our priorities, and our activities according to a higher principle, to the principle of the divine movement and flow that is here. I'm not just caught up in my own fears and operating from that. I'm operating from something higher. Like Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, I didn't share this piece. I have to share it for a minute. While I was at Unity Village, I had the rare privilege of staying in the house that Charles and Myrtle Fillmore lived in. They are our co-founders of Unity. And to be in the presence of that, they have converted many of the homes on the campus into Airbnbs. Well, this one's not. It's actually for they use it for VIPs and things like that. And so to have the privilege of being in the consciousness of what I have spent my last 28 years serving, and more than that, in unity, these principles that I truly believe in, and to be in the presence of their home was truly a gift and very humbling to be there. So I have to say that was a part of my trip this week. So there have been many levels of things that have been happening in this journey. Charles Fillmore in Mysteries of Genesis said, "Order is the first law of the universe. Indeed, there could be no universe unless its various parts were kept in perfect harmony." And I love that idea. And Jesus said, "If they say to you," this is from the Gospel of Thomas, which is not as well known. And Thomas saying 50, says, Jesus said, "If they say to you, 'Where have you come from?' say to them, 'We have come from the light.' From the place the light came into being by itself, established itself, and appeared in their image. If they say to you, 'Is it you?' say, 'We are its children, and we are the chosen of the living Father.' If they ask you, 'What is the evidence of your Father in you?' say to them, 'It is in motion and rest.'" So that active experience of this order moves through us. And it also comes to us in moments of the quiet, when the orderly awareness gets organized and we move forward in that organizing principle. The second thing that happens in the midst of order is adjustment. Have you noticed that we have to make modifications along the way to create and continue our right relationship? We all know that planes, when they're flying, they're constantly making micro adjustments to stay on course. We make micro adjustments continually to stay on course, to be in the order, because otherwise it's like little things will slip past us, and then suddenly it's like, oh, wait, what I said was not really in the right order, or it wasn't in the highest presence. And so what happens is we're constantly having to make adjustments, and that's part of divine order operating in us, because it restores our relationships. Have you had those times that maybe you acted or said something in a way that was not really restoring and renewing the relationship? Oh, good, I'm glad I'm not alone. And then we have to go back, make an adjustment, make it right, and go back and seek forgiveness or forgive ourselves to start with as part of the right order, right? And the third part of order is evolution. Is that everything has a growth and progressive unfoldment in our universe. And if you look at both in science and in spirit, everything will show us that we're operating according to this unfolding, ever-growing, ever-expanding awareness. And we order is that I allow myself to expand in awareness. In the order of things, I recognize that I don't stay stagnant at any moment, right? The opposite of order, it's the opposite of life, is not death but stagnation. And we're going to get to life in a minute. But it's like in all of these, if you are stagnant and not growing and expanding, you're pushing against and resisting the energy of life itself that is always going to expand. Your awareness, your understanding, all of these different powers that we're operating from. So evolution is a natural part of this. The example, breathing is orderly. You can't just take in-breath, 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 right? You can for a little while, but not for long. You got to then let it out, right? And then take another in-breath. Everything unfolds in divine sequence and order. Again, Charles Fillmore, in one of his books, Keep It True Let, says, evolution is the result of the development of ideas in mind. What we are is the result of the evolution of our consciousness. And our consciousness is the result of the seed ideas sown in our mind. Therefore, spiritual evolution is the unfolding of the Spirit of God into expression. It is the development achieved by individuals working under spiritual law. So when we work under spiritual law, we begin to flow, and we start to see that growth and that evolution happening for us. All right, the second of the three powers we're working with today is release. Because in the midst of order, we also, and all the ways that we're operating, we cannot keep holding on to the old and continue to grow and evolve, right? So release is the power, of course, of letting go. And it also represents the cleansing activity of consciousness that clears away the the old for new good to appear. Anybody want new good in your life? Yeah, of course we do. And so we have to be willing to let go of the old, because you cannot continue to fill a cup that's full. And so in our process, release is actually a spiritual purification. It is the way that the universe operates with us. That when we are open to a higher spirit, or going deeper, as Art was singing, going into a more meaningful relationship with the divine, then we are also going to be called to release some beliefs, release some ideas, release ways that we've operated that no longer serve. Doesn't mean they didn't serve us at a given time. But now it's time to let go and allow Spirit to lift us, to float us into a higher realization. It's a letting go that renews and uplifts, and we cannot keep moving forward when we're holding on to what Spirit has already transformed. So what happens, Spirit does the transformation, but we kind of resist and hold on to what's been. But when we let go, Spirit's already transformed it, and we begin to then immediately lift up into something new in awareness, in understanding, in our inner alignment. And so we go through this spiritual cleansing. Now again, there are 3 attributes to this power of release. And so the first one is cleansing. And that is we purify our thoughts. It's in our emotions. And so we restore clarity within ourselves and open spaciousness. I find that when I am truly open and letting go, I realize in the letting go, it's like a whoosh, and all of a sudden I've opened a space, a sacred space within me that allows the divine to come through more powerfully than ever before. So that cleansing begins with my changing my thoughts. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is the place where we open and we cleanse those old thoughts and belief systems that have kept us stuck and playing out the same patterns over and over and over. Because we work on, cleansing operates on many levels. It begins with our individual cleansing of our own thoughts, but it also cleansing operates then on the patterns that have been in our lives. And it cleanses then the familial patterns that our families gave to us, and then our ancestral patterns. And then it clears and starts to operate from a higher, all the patterns. Because as we do this, we open the way for all the world to transform the patterns that we've been stuck and looping through again and again. Would anybody like to change those patterns of the world? We know we want peace, not war, right? And living into the place of I'm willing to let go, release, and be cleansed of the places where I hold on, then all of a sudden things shift. It's like, by giving the example of our unity situation, everybody became willing to shift, to let go of an old perception, to be willing to consider something new. And in that process, then something new can emerge out of that. So in this process of release, we begin with the cleansing, and then we go into renunciation. This means that we're consciously giving up what no longer serves. For our spiritual growth. Now, it can happen at a worldly level. I remember when I quit smoking in 1981, and at the time, y'all, I know would be surprised to even hear I smoked. This is way before Unity, my involvement in Unity. I was a 3-pack a dayer. Woo! I know. Can you believe it? I can hardly believe it. And I realized that I had to choose to let go. I had to renounce that having power over my life, of being what was driving me. And so when I had to renounce that, then I had to come back to the realization that in me was a spirit that was stronger than my addiction at that moment. And in that process, then I could begin to create something new. Now, I came up with the realization at that time that I had believed I was having to let go of something that I loved. I loved to smoke at the time. I loved it, right? Isn't that weird? And but now that we know all that we know, and we knew enough back then. But at the time, I realized, I kept thinking I was letting go of something, and I didn't want to let go of that I loved. And then I realized, well, what if I see this differently? What if I change it and I renounce that it has power over me? What is it I'm gaining? And I started to look at what I was gaining. I was gaining health. I was gaining life energy. I was gaining a longer life, a healthier life. And I instead renounced that I was giving anything up, but instead claiming the truth of my being. So when we go through this time of renunciation, of releasing and letting go, we also get to realize that we're letting go at many, many levels of beliefs that have carried us through. Now, I did something phenomenal at the moment. I came to the realization that I had a hard time doing those things just for myself. Right? Have any of you felt that? That sometimes what we want is something bigger that we're attached to. I got my grandfather and my dad to both agree to quit smoking with me if I quit. Woohoo! Let me tell you. Now, my dad eventually went back to a pipe for a while, and my grandpa went back to smoking. But for a while, I got them to quit because they wanted me to not have that in my life. And so sometimes when we renounce, we go another level with it, right? I love that in the 12 Powers of Man, Charles Filmer says, the beliefs that you and your ancestors have held in mind became thought currents, so strong that their course in you can be changed only by your resolute decision to entertain them no longer. They will not be turned out unless the ego, through whose domain they run, decides positively to adopt means of casting them out of consciousness, and at the same time erects gates that will prevent their inflow from external sources. This is done by denial and affirmation, and the denial comes first. And what we mean by denial, I deny this to have power over me and my life, right? And so in that process, when we're renouncing, then we have to find something greater to bring forth that reality. And Charles also says in Jesus Christ Heals, we have thought that we were to be saved by Jesus making personal petitions and sacrifices before us. But now we see that we are to be saved by the using of creative principles that he developed in himself. He learned how to connect with the divine. So anyway, we are here changing the patterns by renouncing. And the last one is repentance, the last of the three of this category, and of release. Repentance is turning back to God, turning back to truth, turning back to our divine identity. So repentance is not, oh, I need to go, do a lot of laying down and being beaten or whatever to be okay. It's about my making a different choice to turn back to the truth, turn back to the higher realization of who and what I am. So when I release, a part of this is changing my mind and changing the direction that I'm taking in a given moment. So as I do that, I feel, release the old, and I let go, and I begin to feel the new arrive. Now, I'm going to go on into the last of these three, because I know this series is one, it's hard to get it all in a short service, right? The last of the three principles that we're studying, or powers that we're studying, is life. And I love this. Life itself is the animating power of vitality. Life is divine energy expressing through every atom, every cell, and every idea. It is the pulse of spirit that is alive in all of creation. So it is not something we have, it is something we are. We are life itself, right? And it is continually renewing itself in us. Do we work at renewing and having life? We might work at it through our health and the things that we choose, but ultimately it is renewing itself. Ever leave a garden? Leave it and just see. It will have its own renewal. It will have its own way of expressing. May not be the way we wanted to order it, but it will have a divine order to it, And this is an important piece. The opposite of life is not death. The opposite of life is stagnation. When we are stagnant and no longer moving forward, no longer allowing the evolution within us. So all that you give life to lives, right? And when I don't give life to it, then it is not going to continue to have that life energy. Now, there are three capacities of life. Animation, which is divine energy in motion. It's that which enlivens our body, our mind, and our action. We are animated. We get the breath of life moving through us. Vitality, which is a radiant strength, and it's a renewal as this innate spiritual source and resource is vitalizing us again and again. Have you had a really exciting idea at some point in your life? Something that just kind of thrilled you all of a sudden? You felt like you're on purpose and you get a passion for it, and all of a sudden you get vitalized. You get energy going in your life. And the last part of the third one of this is presence, because it is a being state also. So life itself is a being state in us. And when we open to that divine presence that is the truth of our being, then it is suddenly already felt and known, and it begins to experience itself everywhere we are. When we identify with the being that I am, then it will begin to go before us and begin to affect others around us by who you are being in knowing yourself as a divine presence filled with divine life. And all of a sudden, you find you have all the energy you need to do all that is to be done by you in the midst of that. You know, Jesus said in John 10:10, I have come that they may have life and have it abundantly, right? We're meant to have it abundantly, and we are to live into that. Fillmore actually taught that the life source is spiritual energy. It is deeper and finer than electricity or human magnetism. It is composed of ideas, and we can turn on its current by making mental union with it. We choose to unify with that animating force of the universe. So there's much more, but I'm going to stop there because what's important is that we understand these powers, when we align with them, will create sacred flow in our lives. So I love this idea that order aligns me, release frees me, and life renews me. Can you affirm that with me? Order aligns me, release frees me, and life renews me. So may we all be renewed through this series that we have worked on here and through this divine audacity to live the fullness of the light of our being. And I am grateful to be with each of you this time. At this moment, we have some art to reveal here. This is the last of our art reveal weeks. And then we start our auction today. As Bruce mentioned, Pat, do you want to come up? And our first art reveal is based on the idea of order. And Pat has created a beautiful piece, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Pat first of all. I'll get my little cheat sheet here. So come on up. She enjoys traveling. She's done a lot of travel. You're going to come over here to the microphone so they can hear you. Spending time with her grandkids, grandgirls, and writing, which fills the need to create. Her writing is focused on inspiring the reader to live their best lives, which she believes is a core unity principle. Of the 12 powers, she chose order, the power of organization, adjustment, and evolution. For her, this power of order is the driving force behind personal responsibility, the law of cause and effect, the reflection of choices manifesting in life. And she's demonstrated this with fused glass. So I don't know, do you want me to read the rest of this, or do you want to tell us about it? I can read it. I illustrated this power with fused glass, she says. This platter, shall we reveal it? Okay. This is a fused glass piece. I don't know if you all can see. I'm going to hold it up for a minute very carefully so you all can see the beauty of this magnificent fused glass piece. All right. And she says, this platter has the olive green color signified by order. It also has the symmetry, balance, and a pattern which represents order. And within the pattern on this glass platter, there is variety, which is true to life. When creating fused glass, I assemble the glass with the intention of it melting in a certain way, yet with a project like this, I could not have predicted the exact pattern. Such is life. While there is a natural order and predictability of our results from my actions, there is also the serendipity quality of surprise and spontaneity. And order helps me to find balance and consistency in my own life. I am drawn to order for its predictable, yet often unexpected surprises. So welcome, Pat, and thank you. And tell us a little bit about your creation here.
Well, you pretty much said it all. Whenever I was making notes to explain where I was coming from, I looked at those three elements that she's talked about: organization, adjustment, and evolution. And I thought how divinely inspired I was to use fused glass because it perfectly illustrates those three characteristics. There's an aspect of organization and just selecting the glass that was going to be used, and then the cutting of it, and it's a certain step-by-step sequence when you're doing fused glass, and then arranging it, and then melting it, because that's part of the process. Adjustment is illustrated in that whenever I heat it, it goes up to 1400 degrees. So it goes from, what I started with whenever I was making this was 106 little rectangles of glass.
Wow.
And that was put into a circular hoop, a steel hoop, and then it melted from the outside in, and that's how you get that to the middle, that kind of mandala effect of it. So that's the adjustment that the glass goes through, is going from being those little rectangles to being one solid disc. And then the evolution is reflected in that process of going from being 3 separate colors of glass being fused together into one piece of glass, and then from 106 pieces being one piece, and then from the rectangular shape into the disc shape. So I thought I was divinely led in using that particular medium for this illustration of order.
It's beautiful, thank you, and it'll be on our silent auction starting today. Thank you, Pat. So grateful for that. All right, next we have Christy Harper. And I know she's got family here and family joining us online. Christy, let me tell them a little about you, but come on up. So Christy has taken the power of release. And her piece, we'll talk about it in a minute, but Christy is the owner and managing partner of End-to-End User Research, which conducts user experience research, participant recruiting, and provides facility rentals for mock juries, focus groups, medical human factors, and UX research studies. Did you know this about Christy?
I figured most people
do not know that, right? Before that, she spent 18 years with Hewlett-Packard, where she managed a research team in the product design group. Christy is a co-inventor on 3 patents, a frequent speaker and guest lecturer, and co-author of multiple articles in her field. Locally, she has mentored multiple students and early career professionals. Guest lectured at Rice University and the University of Houston Clear Lake, where she received her master's degree in psychology. Christy has been awarded the UHCL Distinguished Alumni, and from her professional organization, she has received the award for Service, Mentor of the Year, and recently been designated as Fellow. During COVID, Christy found time to explore her creative side and began to learn watercolor at home. She started with books, followed by YouTube videos, and along the way, she completely fell in love with the process. She has explored watercolors, gouache, colored pencils, ink, and wash, and enjoys the mixed media, but always returns to watercolor. Recently, she read a book on watercolor portraits, and this has been a new and exciting challenge for her. She continues to learn, grow, discover her personal style, and nurture her creativity, and above all, embrace the process and the passion. So it's so fun to get to know about aspects of people's lives that we don't know, right? Christy, come on over and talk to us about it, and I'll reveal your piece.
Okay, so my color was russet, and that's about elimination and releasing, and that really made me think about fall and the process that nature goes through of releasing everything, taking time to recharge, and then turning toward the light. So
this is beautiful. It definitely gives that feeling of letting go and moving forward into something new. Thank you, Christy. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to mention Dan Bridge because he's been offering things every week. He has an abundance of paintings over here, and so there are more that you'll have to look at all of his to see. But I do want to go next to life. And life is represented by Georgie Holbrook. And let me tell you about Georgie one moment. Georgie had a life-changing encounter, come on up, with Jesus and the healing power of his Sacred Heart. And just 4 hours before surgery, she witnessed a miracle. Jesus removed the tumor from her lung, anointed her forehead, and wrapped her in his Sacred Heart. later leaving her surgeon mystified. Since then, Georgie has designed over 200 sacred hearts on silk, each one divinely guided with healing prayers for the receiver. For 30 years, Georgie has been a blessing giver, intuitive healer, holistic teacher, a mentor, and spiritual guide practicing nature's divine principles. She is the author of 5 self-help books, and her own self-healing story has been published in 23 national magazines. She has a private practice and has helped over 2,000 people transform their lives and learn natural solutions for mild to extreme health concerns. Georgie has received over 171,000 heartfelt views on her YouTube channel, where she openly shares her personal story, her personal journey of emotionally healing from a disfiguring facial disease and near blindness, a condition that more than 50 doctors once declared incurable. Her website, georgieholbrook.com, and her phone number's on here. You can find her with all of this. And Georgie, we're so excited you're sharing your beautiful silk art with us that represents life and the Sacred Heart. So you want to come tell us about it?
So after my encounter with Jesus, down in the Houston Museum section, they offered us a class on dyeing on silk. And I had never taken an art class up until then. And I fell in love with the feeling of the colors. So the dye is from France, and the silk is actually from China. But it was something in the colors that I could start feeling, and it opened my heart even more than what it is. So this one is about life. And
there we go. I'll get there.
What's been interesting is that men have wanted to take and get a heart, and they'll put it in their wallet. They'll sleep with it on their chest. There's one investor in Houston that when I was at the big Unity Church in Houston, he had it in his investment office, but he wouldn't let anybody touch it. Yeah. And my attorney had it in her office, and she just felt the energy. So literally, even the non-believers have been able to feel the Sacred Heart energy coming off of it. So it's just a privilege. But let's give Reverend Kyra a hand today for.
Thank you. Well, let's give one to Georgie. Thank you, Georgie. I appreciate you so much and all that you bring into this. And each one of our artists have put their heart and their soul into their art pieces. And these have been offered as a gift to the ministry to create an abundance for all of us. That's why we're having the silent auction. It actually opens today. You'll see we'll add these to those that are there, and they will be available through November 23rd. We're going to be closing the auction while we're in our Thanksgiving feast. All right, we'll be announcing the winners of the auction on that day. We do have an art reception being offered on Wednesday, November 19th from 6:30 to 8:30 that is open to the public. We hope you'll invite friends, loved ones, families. They can come and be a part of this auction as well. And it's a wonderful way to come and talk with each of the artists and see their art and hear about it up close and personal. And it's truly a blessing to have so much art here that has been donated and gifted by the creative magnificence of the artists in our community. We are blessed with so many authors. We have so many artists. We have so many healers. We are really a powerful group. Can you just feel that energy? And bless it. And so what we will do is let's go on and close our service now, but the auction will be open right after the service as well. And you can put your bids in. Oh, I was calling for an Uber while I was in Kansas City. Yeah. But it didn't really show up like this. I just thought it would be fun to. I was watching though. Thank you for joining us today on those of you that joined on Facebook and YouTube. And let's take our offering. This is a time of our offering. And we are going to take our prayer requests, and this will be back out in the lobby for those of you that want to put prayers. Dawn, would you be willing to hold this one for us? Thank you. And those will be back in the lobby to put new prayer requests in. But in the meantime, let's just share together. There are many ways to give, and we thank you for all the gifts that keep us alive and well. And let's join together with our offering blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so it is. And back to Art Frista.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Oh, open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love. We sing holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Thank you.
All right, let's share our offering blessing together. We celebrate divine abundance. We gratefully live, breathe, and experience abundance and generosity. Thank you, God, for the flow of resources through our ministry to bless the world. We rejoice as all our prayers are answered. We are grateful, blessed, and prosperous. Yeah, I sent that out too soon, but that's all right. It still gets all the blessings, that prayer box. And we want to thank everybody for sharing us on the social media of your choice. Get the word out about unity and about the amazing gift of spirit that is alive and well here in our community. And now I do want to recognize that Tuesday is Veterans Day. Would all the veterans in our community please rise for just a moment and let us take a moment to honor you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your sacred service. We are grateful to all of you. And it is truly an honor. Also, Ellen is putting together an email that will go out on Tuesday to honor our different veterans. So if you do have information that needs to go, if you are a veteran or have one in your family that you want to honor, get that to her right away. It's ellenraj@gmail.com. And she's putting together an email that will come out honoring the veterans in our midst. So thank you very much. And let's join together in sharing our statement of, our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Thank you, God. And so let's join together.